The Dusty Futon Podcast is a product of the Dusty Futon LLC and Dusty Futon Productions. Go to dustyfuton.com for more information. It's that time again. Welcome to another episode of the Dusty Futon, the highly acclaimed musicians podcast. Acclaimed by me, myself, and I, Tyler, Spicy Kim, Lindsay, Dirty Disciple. Also, every band that's ever been on, because all we want to do is give local independent music their voice and their time to shine. Oh yeah, and we play their songs too. And this episode is brought to you by Backstage360.com, the musicians media. The Dusty Futon is a musicians podcast bringing you the raw musician and what they bring to the table. Backstage360.com works hard to bring you even more with creative write-ups, professional interviews, and stunning photography. Backstage360.com also assists with the promotion of events, products, tours, new music, and they provide an overall insider's peek into the impedimenta of the backstage. Backstage360.com. They truly are the musicians media. This episode features a band that we've been waiting to hear from, featuring Jules Whelpton, who was supposed to be with us on episode 1 of this season. She finally makes it down with the band that she's now in, and they're called The Rough. We sit down with 3 of the members, well, 2 of the members for about the first 20 minutes. Drew finally shows up with some music, and we get to hear 3 of their tracks from their latest EP. And if you want a chance to win a free Dusty Futon t-shirt, make sure you stick around to the end to get the hashtag. And all you got to do is share this episode along with the hashtag we mentioned, and you get a chance to win a free Dusty Futon t-shirt. Enough about that. Let's drop into the episode right now featuring The Rough.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
You have a beautiful voice, by the way.
Why, thank you very much.
This is working. I'm glad I came already.
Wait, are you saying you already came?
He's in love.
Maybe.
Well, that was quick.
Well,
A little quickie before the show.
The bathroom's down the hall. You might want to get cleaned up before you go. So anyway, all right, we are here on the Dusty Futon.
Hi.
We haven't paired up in quite a while.
No. How are you doing, Big John?
I'm doing good. I kind of stopped
Fantastic.
hosting, but I have to host this young lady because we opened the season with Ronnie Lee,
Yes, we did.
and it was
Which
just Ronnie Lee.
Jules Whelpton plays with Ronnie
Yes.
as well. Just for our viewers.
It seems like she wants to explain herself.
I just want to apologize. Sometimes my foot slips.
That's okay.
When it's on the brake in your car. That's a problem. I don't know.
It happens. And you just roll right into the vehicle.
Well,
in front
you
of
know.
you.
Just
But
so
that's
you know.
okay. Yeah, there's probably a lawsuit pending, so we're just going to let that one go.
That's okay.
Which one?
Anyway, I'm absolutely intrigued by you. I've been following you on Facebook and Instagram,
Oh,
and
thank you.
You play just about every type of instrument.
I play anything with strings.
Yes.
More specifically, anything with a G string.
So you're saying you're AC/DC, baby. Anyway.
Prove it.
Yeah, and I know, right? Cam, get over here. Oh, wait.
Danger, Will Rogers.
So what got you into the string instrument? Were you a violinist at first?
I was.
Yeah.
Not
that I'm stalking you or anything.
Please do.
Totally is. He totally
Hashtag
is.
that blonde bassist.
Yes, no shit.
I actually.
And I'm here to tell you, you can go to, if you're looking at us right now, you can see how gorgeous she is.
There you
I
go.
have to sit up straight.
Right.
If you got
If your grandmother's watching, you better do that.
She might. You never know. No, I've been playing violin since I could walk, and I actually have a degree in Baroque violin.
Ooh.
Wow.
I never get called to play that. So I figured bass is a good way to kind of make some money and kind of stand out. And I think it was 8th grade. Someone handed me a bass, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I can
Now,
do
bass
this.
is just reverse tuning of a violin,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
So it was hand in hand, you know.
Yeah. Very cool.
The Tyler's looking at me like, how the fuck did you just know that?
I just
And
learned
Darren,
that.
I know.
I'm over here fucking taking notes. I'm like, continue.
Yeah.
So anyway, go on.
No, that's basically the story. I've been trading off violin, bass. I picked up guitar a little bit to kind of do something different. But when I teach, it causes you to learn a new skill, and part of those new skills, learning cello, viola, guitar, electric guitar, classical guitar, and you just kind of it's all like a building block.
So don't let the blown out hair and the rocker lifestyle just make you looks. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't either.
Don't let it confuse you. That's what I was going at. Don't let it. I just got lost in your.
Yes.
You can't judge a book by the cover thing. Is what you're saying?
That's what I was going for, because this
so
girl's
pretty.
smart and you got a degree now.
Right, and then we have Hambone over
So
here.
collegiate.
Look
Yes.
at you go. So now
awesome.
you're in this new project
Yes.
called The Rough.
The rough.
That's at The Rough Music on Facebook.
It is.
And
we've
Instagram.
got and Instagram. Okay.
Same.
And we've got another part of the band, Darren.
Yep. Darren
Alright.
Sater, I play drums.
You play drums. The sticks and the skins.
The best part.
That's what I play. That's what I play too.
Right
So
on.
The rhythm section.
yeah.
Yeah, you got the rhythm section
Oh yeah.
happening.
So how long has the rough been together?
With Jules, it's been not very long. What, a couple months?
Yeah, I'd say since April, late April.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the project it's fairly new even prior to Jules.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Drew and I, and then we had his brother on board for about a year.
And Drew's the guitarist.
Yeah, and he's
on his way.
Yeah, he's a few minutes behind typical.
Oh, he's gonna join us. That's awesome.
See the rhythm section's on time.
Now, is he
You
the one
see?
with the music?
He'll probably have the music with him. Yeah.
Okay, because
Pretty sure he does.
it's kind of important part of the
I
Dusty
would say
Futon.
so. Yeah.
Is to listen to.
We'll make sure we put him on the spot live the second
Oh,
he
yeah.
walks in here.
Oh, yeah.
Just shove a
That's-
mic in his face and say,
it's-
"Where's the music?"
Oh, that's
Sit
on.
down and give me
It's
your
on.
thumb drive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kim, now talk to him while I get this loaded up.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that.
I will say, for the most part, he's pretty professional. As far as getting here on time, well, that'll be his one.
There you go.
Well,
So Darren, how'd you start off playing the drums, or did you
Shit. How much time do we have?
just go?
We've
baby?
got plenty of time. I can edit you out as much as I want to get rid of it.
Okay, well,
If you start droning on, I'll be like, nah, fuck this guy.
I was gonna say, make a mental note.
What was it your first instrument?
It was, yeah. No one in my family plays music at all. In 7th grade, I was actually growing up. I was really into art. In 7th grade, for my elective, I had picked art for like my one cool class or whatever. And I'd gotten my the one where I got to get stoned and get an EPA.
Yeah,
in other
exactly.
words. And then I got my schedule from my
It's a
counselor.
dolphin, man.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping for.
Abstract.
So the counselor gives me this thing, and it says that my third period elective says beginning band on it, and I'd signed up for advanced art. So right away I was like, "What?" Long story short, there was a glitch. So I had 2 weeks of this class, whether I liked it or not. Again, showing up to class stoned out of my mind. The teacher's like, and I told him I didn't want to rent any brass or anything. I see all these fucking dorks with like clarinets and all this, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. And the guy's like, well, it was a 1976 Slingerland snare drum in the corner with an old set of ProMark sticks all beat up. And he's like, look, just beat on these for 2 weeks. I'll give you an A, push you into your art class. Well, after the 2 weeks, my other buddies that were supposed to be in the art class too, I was doing better progressively at the drums, and the teacher's like, why don't you stick around? I think you're onto something. So I was never supposed to play.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. That like talk about a fork in the road. Yeah.
You were actually is how it turns out.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. It changed like literally in the entire course of my life for the most part. So
Why do
Isn't that
you like
something?
stalker mode over there, Tyler? There we go.
I'm all
Awesome. So did you have other bands before the Rough came together?
Yeah, I had bands growing up. My very, very, very first band was like in my parents' garage with a buddy, Brandon Goodrich. Shout out. I'm sure you've seen Brandon at the Navajo. Great bass player. It was called Wingnut, and we would just do punk covers of like NoFX and Pennywise, a lot of the Fat Records and that kind of skate punk scene. And then my first like serious project was called Bankers Hill that I was in again with Brandon. And my buddy Scott Holst, he's doing solo stuff now. Did that for about 4.5 years. And then I drummed in another band called Skipjack. They're a really active punk band in town right now as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Wow.
essentially two serious bands prior to this, and now the Rough. Yeah.
So what made you decide to branch out and do this?
I was on a break, actually, to be honest with you. After Bankers and Skipjack had kind of fizzled out for me, I was kind of mentally done, to be honest. Not done drumming
Just burnt out on the.
Right.
Yeah, there's just a lot of strings attached.
Yeah.
I mean, not to knock anyone, but it's a lot of work. It's a lifestyle for sure.
Keeping a band in and of itself is really
It
tough
is-
to do.
You're
It's a
married
lot.
to each other.
It's
really.
very rough.
It, I was waiting for that. Yeah, you get 3 of those before I turn into a beetle and like fly away. Yeah, so you got
okay.
one down.
All right. Wait,
yeah.
Beetle?
I know.
I don't know. Was that
Beetlejuice?
Okay, that was
Yeah.
the Beetlejuice.
Well,
Okay, that was cute.
I forgot the second half of that.
It was so
Normally,
close.
about this point, we get into music, but I want to know how you guys met and how the relationship of you Jules being a part of this new project.
It actually started at the Navajo, where a lot of things start, it seems like. They've got this really cool open jam on Thursdays, and I was kind of in and out. I was living up in Huntington Beach, and now I'm kind of back in here in the San Diego scene. So I went and kind of got reacquainted with the San Diego musicians, and I had never met Darren before. So we jammed on a song, and then he's like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this,
That's usually
this
the
girl
kind of
can
response.
actually like sort of play, I guess. Like she's alright." So
Yeah, that's typically the reaction. No, no, like everyone's blown away by you because they always underestimate you.
I don't know about that, but
I do.
long story short, they had a bass player who was, had a lot of commitments. So, and we still love Mike, and I have big shoes to fill, so I'm trying to fill them.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I didn't know.
Dead air.
I don't know. I want to talk about some of your music, but we don't
that'll
have
be the
it.
editing
I know,
part that we were
exactly.
talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna edit the fuck out of this right now.
No, it was more of a timing thing, I think, too, as well. I mean, Jules is tons of talent and she's awesome. She's a great person, but it really was like the universe loves me because Drew practically fell into my lap. Same as Jules.
Super cool.
I live right up the street from Navajo, so it's kind of like my local, like my watering hole.
So is it just a 3-piece right now?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just us 3, and we're, the band is young, so
Now, are you okay? So let's
Who
get into
sings?
the style because you've been punk pretty much your whole drumming career,
for the most part, yeah.
and you've been like a harder rock kind of girl, right?
I've been all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You started with the violin, so you've been all. So this is a punk band, right?
Yeah, I would say, and the thing with that, it's touchy because if you talk to person A and said punk band and person B and said punk band, depending on how they grew up and the bands they listen to,
Yeah.
some people say punk's not even a genre; it's a lifestyle. Yada yada yada.
Oh God, that was so like 80s.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. So it just, and there's so many subgenres of
Yeah.
punk, So it's kind of like, do we have punk influences? Sure, but we have rock, we have
Yeah.
funk, there's soul, there's all these different sprigs of all these different sounds. And it's a tough nut to crack, to be able to try to mix all those things without sounding jumbled,
Yeah.
So it's not something that you can easily do. You want to sound original, but you want to sound thorough.
And it can be difficult because you got to put yourself in a genre,
Totally.
you know.
Yeah. No, it
challenge.
can get tricky. I would say that the newer stuff, you can definitely feel a lot more rock influence in it. But yeah, we're excited about it for sure.
Right on. I'm excited to hear it.
Me
Big
too.
John.
I'm very excited. I'm waiting, very
Fuck, it's true.
impatiently waiting.
You're just going to answer random questions for Drew.
Drew, did you bring the music?
Of course I did. Yes, I brought the music, but it's
Hey,
not their
Drew.
music.
He brought the music. He's got the music in me.
I'm Drew. I'm an alternative lifestyle rodeo clown.
It's Tyler Drew over here.
And by alternative lifestyle, you mean you just like to party.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Okay,
The sound effects.
Where's your slide whistle?
oh, he did bring that.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's
That's
talk
no
about
big-
some other shit. Now, you guys are a pretty young band, so how long have you been? Are you working on an album right now?
We are working on some pre-production. Yeah.
So what do you
Very
got?
cool.
Stuff.
Like, how many tracks have you got in the bin right now, ready to roll? Like not 100%, but
For recording,
yeah, ready to record.
I think we're gonna record about 4 for like a 4-song EP.
Okay.
Right
If
on.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And that would be you guys collaborating, the three of you?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
going to be
we're
this
gonna-
this version of the rough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a point.
You had a
I
point.
lost it.
Uh-oh.
That blonde bassist. There she
Hashtag
is in the flesh.
That fake one.
It's platinum. It's platinum blonde by birth.
But out of left field, she'll like pop some calculus and some algebra on you out of nowhere.
I know when the roots grow, like I start learning things.
She gets smarter.
Comes
Technically, she'll be smarter by the end of this interview. Let's save all the fancy questions towards the end.
So, have you laid anything down yet? Are you guys getting studio time? Where are you working out of? Like, what's the deal on that? What's your process right now?
We're about to do some pre-pro in beginning of July, and then we're looking at different studios.
I got to say that's the industry talk for pre-production.
Pre-pro.
Just so you know. Just so you know, I'm looking right at Tyler. Just so you know, Tyler.
Write that shit down.
Pre-pro.
Anyway, go on.
And
Beginning
then
of July.
I think we're looking at recording in August.
Nice.
So we should have something out. I hope by fall. We like to move fast.
Yeah,
we
that
like
would be
to do
really
things.
fast.
So I mean,
Cool.
we already went to Arizona.
Nice.
I saw that. That's right.
Yeah.
I joined the
Super
band and
cool.
we're all like, okay, we're gonna go tour. Oh, okay.
Oh shit! That's a
That
hard-working
works.
band. That's how
That
you.
works.
That's how you can make some money selling merch on the road, and you also really learn about the band and who you're working with. And obviously, if you guys did a tour right away and you're still here, and you've got Drew, even though he's late, he's still showing up. Hopefully,
Technically still in the band. Yeah.
yeah. You guys, for
We need
now.
him for the next
Technically,
20 minutes
yeah.
so we
For
can get
now.
your music on.
But
I'm kidding. I'm totally
to say that you're still together after that early getting into a little tour, that's pretty impressive. So
Yeah, and shout out to Tucson. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Prior to going out there, I really was like, oh man, I'd never been out there, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
It's just this tiny little desert town, and you're kind of like, it was weird. We were like driving from where we were staying, and we're like driving out, and it kind of felt like we were driving through like a like Chula Vista kind of residential, just like cruising, and I'm like, where is this fucking bar? You know, we're just like driving. It's hot. You know, it just kind of feel. You know, it's different. It's
Yeah.
different. And then we pull up to like kind of their main drag, and then it was like North Park on a Saturday night out of nowhere.
Wow.
Like, just like 25 people crossing the street, all these bars, all these like it was crazy. So there is a little bit of a scene out there, believe it or not, and we got a great response from the people at Tucson. It was
Super
awesome.
cool.
One of the bands that we had played with, they had played with us here. That's how we met
Oh,
them.
cool.
They're called In Lessons. Look them up. They're rad. Yeah, and they hooked us up. We had played with them here, and they're like, you guys should come out whenever. And a lot
That's
of bands
awesome.
talk, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
bands get a couple Jack and Co. Oh yeah, dude, let's do it. And no one
For
ever
sure.
follows through. And Drew, I got to give it up to him if he was here. I'd, praise him. But he's not, so fuck him.
I have a feeling
can
this
listen.
episode's he's gonna walk in. He's like, oh, I got the music.
Yeah.
KT, we just finished. The next band's coming on. You got to go. Sorry, brother. He's got a half hour to get here.
Drew might end up being a part of that band.
Maybe.
Okay, so have you performed before?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So where, like, do you have any kind of regular appearance? Like, where do you normally show up at the Marrow? What other, do you go to the Bancroft?
We played there. We're playing Navajo. Speaking of the hoe, that's what I call it.
The hoe. Everybody, it's the hoe.
It's the
The
hoe.
hoe.
And if you go there, you will know.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got some rappers in here.
Oh my God. Who knew? Who knew?
Oh, snap!
Now we got a drummer too.
I think
Crackle.
we've got a couple. Oh, here he
I
comes.
see a really
Drew.
good
Here's
looking
another
man
drummer.
walking up to your front door right now.
Is his name Drew?
It's actually hashtag I am Drew Smith.
Hashtag I am really late.
Hashtag I hope you brought a thumb
Hashtag
drive.
I am Drew Smith. That's late with the thumb drive.
Do you got a thumb drive of music for me?
And that was it, folks. Let's give Drew a round of applause.
And away he goes.
That was.
I swear to God, I just saw a little puff of smoke behind him as he flew through the air.
It was a cameo.
Yeah, it was like quick appearance. It's like, hey guys,
Bam.
nice to meet you. I'm out of here.
Bada bing.
Nobody's heard his voice yet.
Oh, you'll know when he gets on the.
I have a question for Jules.
I have an
Because
answer.
That's
Hopefully
what I'm hoping
applies.
for. Because Darren said like he didn't have any musical influences in his home, and it was a fluke thing that he ended up playing the drums because of the situation with the school administrators.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you said since you could walk, you had a violin in your hand. So how did that come about?
I saw Mickey Mouse playing it on TV, and I was like, man, I really want to play that.
I believe that. Is that really a true story?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah,
Yep.
we are. We were bought and sold by Disney.
It's interesting that way.
Kind of like a Disney kid.
You can move that microphone out of the way.
No.
The one that's standing right there.
I'd like to give him a round of applause. I mean, he is walking in, so that's good.
It's true.
And we need someone with a beautiful voice on the microphone because Jules and I just aren't cutting it. So.
What?
You're mean.
Those are fighting words.
She's like, I have a beautiful voice. I know it.
Hi.
There's that Mickey Mouse influence again.
Right?
This is going to be a lot of cutting and editing for me.
Music has
All
been
right, cool.
sent.
Go ahead and take a
by
seat next to.
Drew, you're good.
Yes. Don't
Have a
worry. Hey,
seat.
don't worry about it, man. We're all fun and games here. Just throw on those headphones and put that microphone near your teeth.
Start yapping. We're ready to hear from you. Oh, he broke his toe a couple hours ago.
Oh,
True story.
That's the worst.
He
Really?
was at a pool party.
My big toe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They said I needed access. I requested access.
We're going to get it. We're going to hear the ref today. I'm not kidding. It's
This
like a
is
mission. I'm on a
story
mission.
of my life.
When it rains and pours, is that kind of situation, It's the anticipation. I'll talk about that. I'm like super excited. I mean, I was anyways, but a little extra. There you go.
Okay, so you've got a few songs here. So what do you want to debut here on the Futon?
Yes. The rough.
Yeah,
I'd probably
that
go,
one.
yeah, this would be the, I'd probably say
The hit.
I'd say it's the hit off of the,
People like
off
it.
the release
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
All right, so this is Not You by The Rough off their self-titled E EP.
I love it.
Right off the bat, that's pretty bad.
I love it.
Unique.
You pulled the car before me. Sharp blades come straight from the mirror. Heat patch, you never call yourself a killer man. Try to keep the plane high with your other hand. One day they'll all adore me. You'll bluff, I'll stand and deliver. I can't keep going with this little game. My reply stays the same. And I've said it before that I won't take any more than I want to. No, not from you. So let's settle the score, 'cause I won't do this anymore than I want to. No, not with you. What did you say the day when you first saw me? Eyes all on me. Sounds good, but I could have done it better, man. Well, I'm the one that made a feast of my feeders, and you wanna say I'm hungry, getting sloppy, lies all on me, but you stand up short when you're old and tall, and this is my resolve, 'cause I've said it before that I won't take any more than I want to. No, not from you. So let's settle the score, 'cause I won't do this anymore than I want to. No, not with you. Whoa.
Ooh, I like that.
And I've said it
That was cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
any more than I want to. No, not from you. So let's settle the score, 'cause I won't do this anymore than I want to. No, not with you. And I've said it before that I won't take any more than I want to. No, not from you. So let's settle
Well, I call that badass, and I want to buy it.
It's not over yet. Oh wait, it was. Sorry.
So that's the ending of
Yeah, that was the
that's
ending of the
first
song. Wow. Okay.
That was awesome.
I was like, I thought for some reason we had more on that song, but maybe it's because I just wanted more.
Oh,
There you go.
That was
I do. I
badass.
want more.
You know
It
what's
was.
great about it is I sensed the punk vibe, like the punk.
The energy there.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't punk. Like you had punk elements, but and then
Driving.
I love that kind of like 1920s, 30s type like just
That
jive
scat
you
band
jumped into.
kinda,
Yeah.
Very cool.
And the finger snaps. It's super. That organic percussive stuff is pretty dope.
So Drew, we talked a little bit about you while you were not here.
You don't get to hear the shit we say.
Yeah.
No.
You just have to,
You have to
trust that
wait.
it was all
You
good.
have to wait till the episode is actually up before you hear what we had to say about you. Yeah, but I want to hear from you. Like, what's your Kim talked on it a little bit, but while we were putting music together, where's your origin with the guitar and your vocals? Like, where does that come from?
So I was playing drums in this band called Motionless, and I don't know. I liked the way that Derek in the band, our guitarist, I liked the way that he played guitar, and it was really melodic. And he'd hold the chords for a while, and it was only 3 or 4 changes in the progression and stuff. And so I would just try to start doing that. As far as the singing stuff, it's hard to say. It just kind of like has always been in my mind. Stuff has always been in my head, different ideas, and I've just been playing, I don't know, almost 10 years now on the guitar. So, just like getting used to, getting the stuff out that's in my head, things like, well, maybe if I think it's cool, at least, 2 other people might,
So far, you got 2
Right?
people in your corner.
Yeah, so then we get
I'm
to
in your
jam it
corner.
together,
So where'd that song come from? The
Not You.
Yeah.
That's like, just like, the big middle finger to whoever's trying to tell you to do what they think, tell you how to live your life their way,
Yeah.
Also, it's like, in my mind, it's just a giant car chase.
Kim's got to go away for a moment.
Bye, Kim.
I can't miss you.
See you in a sec, Kim.
What's that? Oh my God! You guys must have so much fun at rehearsals
Oh
with this
my
little
God.
blonde bassist.
I wish you could hear some of her accents. Has she done any accents yet
Oh,
today?
she hasn't, but good call. It's some of the most authentic. You'll think that like
That
an
might
actual
be for
person from Britain is here.
not-
Yeah.
My time
On
has
air.
expired.
Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
love you guys. It's true.
You can thank
It's
Drew for
true.
that
Drew, it was a pleasure to meet you.
for 5 seconds.
Kim, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you
it's a
for coming
pleasure, for
out.
sure.
Oh my
Always.
God.
for
And
having
Jules,
us.
I just love you to
I
pieces,
know,
girly.
I love you too.
All right, guys, have fun.
If you want to know why Kim has to leave, all you got to do is follow at Lindsay Manfredi on Instagram. And I think we need someone to take her place. Da, 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 da. It's Tyler. Anyway, okay, so
That was really good canned laughter that you just input there, Big John.
Thank
That's
you, thank you,
engineering
thank you.
radio magic at
that's
its
what I do best. So now we've got Tyler on the mic.
You poor sad people. You were
Yeah.
way better off without me. Let's do this.
Well, the good thing is we're going to be jumping right into a song.
Are we done? Is it almost over already?
Almost. We are running short on time, but that's okay. The other bands can wait.
It's okay. I've had a lot of fun in the background, bunny earsing everybody and dancing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
I like
can
your
see-
pictures.
Yes, you will like the pictures. They will be up on the website. Don't let me forget to send them to you before I leave today.
That's the only way they make them on the
know,
website,
I
by the way. You keep promising people pictures, and it's like, well, if you would give the guy who runs the website the
Lies.
pictures,
And
then
I'm
maybe
always
they
the guy
make it
that
up
says
there.
lies make baby Jesus kick puppies. So,
Yes.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
Try
mouth
not
on
to.
him.
If
Anyway.
baby
Look
Jesus
at-
can
So-
walk, let alone kick puppies, those are like 2
He's
awesome
baby
things.
Jesus. He can walk on water.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That being
His
said,
back was strong from the beginning.
All right. Enough about Jesus. Let's talk about the rough.
I'm scared.
Or do you want to talk about more about Jesus?
No, I want to hear another track because that was pretty badass. Like the now you said, first of all, real quick, you said that one's more like your hit song. So explain that before we dive into another track.
I guess because it is, different from like the ideal or typical punk sound, but like you said, the influences are there. More of our stuff's off of this release sounds a little closer to like that, more common punk sound.
It's a really hard question to ask, Big
pop.
John. If somebody knew why it was a hit, I think they wouldn't have a problem succeeding like anybody would, right?
Well, I mean, that's
what we're trying to figure out. That's
I'm
the
gonna
whole
pop my collar
problem.
all over this microphone because we write hits and stuff.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's how they introduced the track. It's
Yeah.
like if we probably had a hit song, this would
What would
be
they
it.
say? Because they're the ones that said it. Why did you guys say that?
Edit.
Well,
Who can do?
honestly,
alert.
Who
so-
can do the best cricket sound?
chirp, chirp, chirp.
There you go.
No,
we got to
You're
work.
right.
was
She's
a-
good with
To-
the accent.
to answer,
It's like there was a cricket
I
here.
speak cricket. It's like Dory. I speak whale.
Let's not do that. Okay.
No, to make a short answer, like someone coming into the band like me, I'm like, okay, who am I gonna, Darren was hey, come check out my band and blah blah blah. Okay, well let's see what the punk band sounds like, and I was blown away by that track. I was like, that's a good song, and people at shows go, hey, it sounds different from a punk track. So
Yeah.
I think that's why it's a hit. It just sounds different.
And I gotta tell you, from a musician standpoint, it's a risky song, especially from a drumming standpoint, more specifically because of the funk and the groove of the verses and the way that it transitions into that.
That's
kind
what
of
I was
pop
just
punk
about to
chorus.
point into. The
It's-
transitions are
it's
real.
completely unorthodox. But it works. It
Yeah.
works. It definitely throws you for a loop from the intro to the first verse to the chorus. It's just this constant change, but it does maintain a chug
Yeah.
throughout.
It did. I mean, I
That's
didn't
a cool
have a set
song.
of headphones on, but I heard it. It was very loud, very powerful, and it really did. Everything melded together perfectly. I heard Big John talking about little breaks and how there's all sorts of little intricacies in there. But it
Just
wasn't
because
like
I let you sit behind the mic doesn't mean you get the soapbox.
No, I'm just.
I
saying.
want to hear another track,
What I'm
and
saying
then I want
is
to
I
hear what you
appreciate
have.
the fact that their song
This
wasn't like
guy.
an M. Night Shyamalan movie. In the middle of it, you just went, "What the fuck was that?"
What a twist!
Exactly.
All right, let's try this one more time.
Okay.
Did you see what I did there?
Hey,
The next song.
We never have that joke at practice,
No,
by the way.
never.
Ever.
Let's play this song one more time. Which song are you talking about? The One More Time song. When are we gonna play it? The One More Time.
Oh man, that was like the perfect impression of me.
Sounds like he could do accents too.
Yeah. You got some
All right.
competition.
Well, let's go ahead and listen to this track. This is One More Time by The Rough off their self-titled EP. The Rough, due out soon, right?
Oh, this one came out
This
last
one's
year.
actually out, yeah.
Oh, this EP
That's very
is already
soon.
out.
This one is out.
Very soon.
Yeah, Back
As
to
in
the Future.
7
Yeah.
months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I run a DeLorean at 88 miles per hour. So, all right, here we go. One more time.
There was a time when I thought I knew about you, but I was wrong. It's been so
Jules, is that you in the background singing? Or
Nope.
screaming?
This was pre-Jules.
Yeah, Jules.
Ah. I couldn't tell. That was like, I hear an interesting echo, but it's not quite feminine.
It's me.
So you're just doubling up your own vocals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now you sing live, though, Jules.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be all over the next release.
All right.
All over it.
All over. Wait. What? Okay.
What?
Depend on things you never really knew. That goose chase never really looked so good on you. You're always wasting time when everything's said and done.
Lucas. Sorry, I woke you up there a second.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, no, you could. I was about to comment. You could tell how deep these guys under their music. Like Jules is practically like lost in her own world, And then you've got Drew. He's like, you could tell he's just kind of analyzing every bit of the track.
He went to his own section of the universe. He's like dissecting everything, probably re-listening to it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And she's making sure she's hitting all the notes. It's like, wow.
Hey, and I'm taking selfies.
Yeah, exactly. Like the drummer's just like, whatever.
And I'm just sitting here like, you guys make pretty songs. I like them.
Speaking of, you do. That was awesome. And that was more like traditional
I was
punk.
just going to say, that is
probably.
definitely more of that melodic hardcore that, the Fat Records, like the
I was going to
skate
say, have
punk
you guys
growing
ever heard
up.
of No Effects?
Yeah,
ever?
that's a lot of that.
You know what?
sound. Yeah.
What?
So were there any effects or?
Yeah.
None.
No.
None. Not at all. Mm-mm.
Wow.
One more. Are we going to really do this one more time?
Yeah.
You got to start coming to practice.
What we can
Yeah, I
do
know,
while we're wearing our satin gloves.
Yeah.
No. Oh, geez. Are we doing that one next?
Do we have time for the love ballad? That's the love ballad that every band hates to love to have.
Oh, yeah. We could go ahead and jump right into that.
Let's jump.
Let's jump into it.
I love
May
it.
as well
Crisscross will
jump.
make it.
Jumping Jules.
You do love to jump. This
love to
this
jump.
girl, is she like on stage the same? Or is she in rehearsal the same way she is on stage?
Sometimes I just love to jump.
Yeah, she
Are you a
Actually
puddle
bring-
jumper?
We bring jump rope
No,
to
I
practice.
just jump.
and just tie it to
The bass line.
Her side of the stage is a trampoline.
And we draw it hopscotch for her, so she's like, just.
Is this like the Man Show trampoline at the end of the Man Show? Like, did I just
But
went
she's
there?
got a bass.
Sorry. Yeah.
I missed that. I just got a visual and remembered how great that was.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
That was awesome.
That was so awesome.
What happened to that?
The Man Show fell apart when.
Dude.
What's the man show?
Oh God, you're so young. She's
Yes,
so cute.
that's a perfect question.
The Man Show is a show for men where they did nothing but man stuff.
A
And
long
it-
time ago, men used to sit in front of the TV
Yeah.
and say ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi,
We
over
used
and
to-
over
mugs
again.
and
We
beer.
used to actually like to act like men before. Well,
The
anyway.
pussification
Yeah.
of men.
But yeah, at the very end of every episode, while the credits were rolling, it was chicks in bikinis jumping on trampolines, and you can tell they were well endowed young ladies.
Yes, they were healthy.
So
very
it-
healthy.
very healthy, and it was all about the aesthetics.
I always
of-
said talented.
very talented. They were very, very talented. Anyway, so speaking of all the love we're talking about, I love boobies.
Let's go from boobies on trampolines to a power ballad.
Yeah.
Well, we're wearing our satin gloves.
Oh, that's kinky.
While you're petting your really
Let's
fuzzy
get
cat.
into satin gloves. Yeah, satin gloves. All right, so this is Satin Gloves by The Rough off their self-titled EP, The Rough.
It's very ballady.
Yep.
By a thread, your heart pounds in your head. At least you're keeping your hands warm, weathering this summer storm. Do you still feel safe? What's going on inside your brain? With so much work and not to show, what happens next we'll never know. But I'll stay and listen to you say that it's all you care about. We all take our pain when we fall in love. And I'll say
You venture away from punk and go alternative with this one.
Right, yeah. It's like, like a bunch of different stuff,
Yeah.
So why not? Punk influence, sure, but, different ways to get it out.
Yep. This is one of them.
Like you said, punk isn't a genre.
It's a
way of
lifestyle.
I thought it was an attitude.
That's, yeah. Okay, so there's three types, whatever.
a bit of change could make it right. Is it impossible? I'd love to tell you no. These idle hands, the swings and slides, a hungry look in the devil's eyes. But I'll stay and listen to
break down this song for us? I find behind Pallets, there's got to be some deep reasoning. There's a big reason you wrote this song. It wasn't just to get chicks, right?
No.
It was definitely to get chicks.
That's why I wrote music.
I thought you were singing to Satin Gloves when I first heard it.
Singing to Satin Gloves?
Yeah.
Oh, like looking at them?
Yeah, and like singing to them.
yeah,
I love
all
you,
10 of your
I'll
fingers.
sit and listen.
He saw a pair in Marshalls and he was like just singing how he wants to buy them. Just
Yeah.
looking at the gloves and
Jeez, at the window, just scratching.
That's gonna be the music video.
looking through Walt's clothes.
Singing
what
so
you
hard
started.
there's fog on the glass.
Jesus.
Basically, like with the chords and stuff, you know, I'll stay and listen to you say and sit and watch you go through it. You know, I want to be here for you. The next chorus is the opposite. Listen to me.
And a key change, too. Look at that. A little bit of Shakespeare there. And therein lies.
That's it. Yeah, it's pretty much like, you know, the feeling you get from like being there to, you know, support and listen and back up and be the shoulder and the ear and all that stuff, you know, and then when it's not reciprocated, you think, well, one might think like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing it and maybe that'll inspire something. And then, you know, if you're left, you give so much, you got nothing left, and you walk away, and this is, you know, kind of like the thought that goes through your head.
So this EP is before Jules.
Yeah.
And Jules is relatively new, but the band itself is relatively new. So tell me about the lead up to this EP, and obviously you wrote all these tracks. Like, how did you guys write it? Was it just you two kind of writing things together, and then like?
Well, like Satin Gloves and Not You were songs that I, you know, have a side acoustic thing, you know, and writing songs for that, and these would be some of the songs that I was performing for the live shows, and so Satin Gloves and Not You were the first ones that me and Darren got together on.
Right.
And you know, obviously, I'm telling him like, oh, this is the part I have in my head because I'm a drummer too, so I'm writing like to the guitar parts to a drum line in my head. You know, I'll tell him this is what I have. You know, my idea is, bam, and then he'd do amazing things with it and make it, you know, sound a lot better. Like, okay, next one.
That's
You know?
awesome.
So everything falls together really quick because we, you know, all of us, we vibe on that. You know, and even jamming. Right now, we're doing the stuff we have out, but writing, you know, messing around with Jules, it's pretty cool because she can like jump on. We can all jump in together at any part and just make
Well, you got
something of it.
professional musicians and people have been working hard for years, and that's what's going to develop into something awesome.
And a
So,
pro jumper.
a pro
jumper.
Pro jumper.
That was hard to say.
Drumper. I thought it was
like
like a
a
trampoline for
I didn't-
for
I-
Darren.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's like a drummer that's really kick-ass at
Pro
jumping.
drumper.
It's like
Drumper.
his other career.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
can like bolt a stage to a thing that would jump and you
Do a
could be a
consistent
pro
snare
drumper.
roll without any mess ups.
That would be
while you're on
crazy.
trampoline.
Fucking rad, dude.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out
Thank
here
you for
and
having us.
chilling on the futon with
Sorry
us.
I was
It's-
late. Didn't
Hey.
realize the situation.
Hey, you know it's not serious, so you just you know you'll hear the finished product
It would have
It'll
been
be
cool to
fun.
get a little more, you know, timing with the whole clan, but next time
with what?
with the whole, you know, with the whole crew, the whole squad.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
next time
yeah.
there'll be a next time. I promise.
sorry
but
about
yeah,
the
we'll
mix-up,
go
man.
in. Hey, shit happens, brother. But again, thank you guys for taking the time to come down here. I mean,
Totally.
you know, it's a blast. So you can check these guys out. Where's your website again?
The Rough Music, you can Google that. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We'll have the .com out soon, and the Rough SD at Gmail if you want to get ours for booking.
Badass. All right. Well, check these guys out. Their music's on Spotify. It's all over the place. iTunes everywhere. And a new EP is going to drop when?
Probably late this year, early next year.
Hell yeah. Thanks again, guys.
Thank
Peace
you,
out.
buddy. Later.
Peace.
A huge thank you to the Rough for coming down and taking a seat on the futon. We had a blast with these guys. And thank you to Spicy Kim of Wicked Tone Entertainment for being the executive producer and co-host for this episode. And definitely a thank you to Tyler for stepping in when Spicy Kim had to step out. I'm Big John, your host, engineer, and producer for the episode. Don't forget, we now have merchandise to sell, t-shirts and the whatnot. Go ahead and head over to dustyfuton.com/merch to get your t-shirts now. Speaking of merchandise, if you're hanging around waiting for that hashtag, first thing, thank you for sticking in with us and sticking all the way to the end. The hashtag is one of the ones we used in the episode. Hashtag I am Drew Smith. All you got to do is make sure and share this episode. Tag us at Dusty Futon on Instagram or Twitter, or at The Dusty Futon on Facebook. Share the episode with the hashtag on any one of those social platforms, and we'll randomly select one person to send a t-shirt to. Good luck, and thanks for sharing the episode. If you want to hear what's coming out, what's going on for the next week or two and down in the scene of San Diego, don't forget to check out our concert reports released Wednesday on the same channel. So all you got to do is subscribe, whether it's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, any of those places. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. We also have a Patreon page if you want to get some behind-the-scenes information and some special goodies that are going to be coming in the future. You can go to check that out at patreon.com/thedustyfuton, where you can directly support The Dusty Futon. Also, don't forget to check us out at dustyfuton.com, where you can get access to every episode ever created by The Dusty Futon from Season 1 debut back in April 2015 to now. I hope you enjoyed this production of The Dusty Futon LLC. And this episode was sponsored by Backstage 360. Don't forget to go to backstage360.com to check them out. They are the musician's media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next episode right here on The Dusty Futon.